Thank you, everyone. Today, we have the second virtual meeting of sharEvery Global Foundation, especially the board of directors who have been working very hard for several months to make this virtual platform really a real platform. So at the outset, I'd like to thank everybody who has been behind the screen to make this wonderful virtual platform a platform with a lot of phenomenal changes. Certainly, every director requires appreciation, a good patching from on behalf of the sharEvery platform, and I would like to thank wholeheartedly to every director of this particular team, because all of you have been working together to make this platform wonderful, and everybody has been busy with their own professional and personal schedule, but find out a certain slot to be along with us to share our ideas. And once again, I extend my gratitude to all the members personally. And a great saying goes in such a way: winners never quit and quitters never win. Every board director member has been winners, because although they have been very busy with their own schedules, they do find out some certain time to be the part of this global foundation to make it a winning factor. And I appreciate everyone's effort very personally, because although it is a virtual platform, your sharings has been immense. I would like to call upon Coach SOOSAI RATHINAM to deliver the message of today, and he has come up with a new idea, a book, and he would like to exchange his ideas, how to elevate the thoughts, what is being behind the book. So I request Coach SOOSAI RATHINAM sir to come forward. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and thank sharEvery Global Foundation for inviting me as a chief guest. So I'm really honored to share about the book that I'm reading at the moment, and I hope this book would definitely give us an inspiration. I'm going to just share a few points so that this particular advisory board meeting becomes fruitful. As you could see a picture where the 6 women from the Indian Navy had a purpose in life. They wanted to travel the world, and they took 254 days. They traveled in a sailboat. So these 6 women had a purpose in their life and wanted to fulfill that. It is not only men who could travel the world alone, even women could do. And therefore, these 6 women traveled the world in a sailboat for about 254 days. As you could see, this particular girl, 19-year-old girl, Zara Rutherford, and you must be aware that she is the first or youngest female pilot to fly solo around the world. And it was more than 155 days that she flew the world on the flight that you could see at her background. And the aim or the objective that she wanted to fly the world was that she had a dream that she wanted to visit the world around. And this 16-year-old boy from India recently defeated Magnus Carlsen in chess championship. When asked, this young guy, how does he want to celebrate after winning or defeating the world chess #1 Magnus Carlsen? And he said, I think it's about just going to bed, because I don't think I will have dinner at 2:13 a.m. because the match was at in the midnight in India. So he was not that much interested on celebrating over defeating the world #1 chess champion Magnus Carlsen. But he had a purpose in life, and he still says that I will have to keep up this winning as far as my journey continues. So today I'm going to share, you could see on the right side the book, The World by Hitchhiking. This book is a travelogue written by Ludovic Hubler, a guy from France who had a purpose in life. And you must be aware, so people travel on different transportations. But this guy had a dream that he wanted to travel the world on hitchhiking. The Oxford Learner's English Dictionary says, what is hitchhiking? Just getting a lift from people's cars or at the side on the road and then travel the world. So he had a purpose or he had a dream. And that particular dream, so as is often the case, it's all started with a child's dream. One day when I grow up, I will travel the vast world. Already at the tender age of 8, I had this 10 by 7 foot pin up facing my bed, a world map. Each night as I was just about to go to bed, it was the last thing I was looking at before the lights went out. Just like a provocation, it seemed to repeat unendingly, I am waiting for you. Fulfilling this dream was already one of my deepest aspirations. So he had a dream at the age of 8, but he started traveling the world at the age of 25. So he had a purpose. So he wanted to fulfill the dream. So I'm going to just give you the gist of this particular book, the struggle that he had. What are the things that he did? How many countries he visited? So one could imagine, and he had an objective that he would never spend even a single cent on traveling. But without spending money, is it possible to travel the world just by hitchhiking? And he had 2 rules, and I'm just reading one of the rules that he always followed was CPPS. That is, to be always clean, polite, patient, perseverant, and smiling. The golden rule that he wanted to have when he started his journey. And now, I'm just going to give you the gist of the book. As I told you, this book is a travelogue. But people always read books on motivations and personality development and even business and a lot of things. But people hardly read travelogues. I was really attracted by this particular book written by this young guy, Ludovic Hubner. He started his journey in January 1, 2003 and ended on January 1, 2008, and it was a 5-year trip. And he started his journey in the Alps. As I was telling you that he had an ambition that he would never spend a single cent on his traveling, but he spent 25,000 euros on visas, insurance, food, internet, laptop, camera and other things. He visited 59 countries during his 5 years of hitchhiking. And he traveled 10,600 miles. And he says that it was 1,300 car drivers and truck drivers who helped him. So he not only traveled on cars and trucks, but even traveled 10 different boats. He even traveled on Sahara, the Pacific, the Atlantic. And in order to, many people didn't come up hitchhiking. But he had to work in the boats that he traveled and then he traveled the world. Throughout his 5 years of traveling, so he spent more than 20 hours waiting in almost stations and roadsides. He says 28 maximum number of hours spent to get a ride. So he waited in one particular place more than 28 hours to get his next ride. And he says that he spent, the maximum number of days spent in a single car is 5.5 days. And that happened when he wanted to cross the part of Sahara Desert. And the way he describes, the way he met people throughout the world, learned their culture, food, and it was amazing. And again he says that there are more than 20,000 people who refuse to give him a lift. And he also says that people who always came forward to help him were middle class or low middle class people. It was not the high class people or people who were rich never came forward to help him or give him a ride. And throughout the book, you could see that he was attracted by these 2 famous quotes. And I'm sure everyone must have heard or read these famous quotes. And every chapter begins with a title and a quote related with a country that he wanted to visit. And I'm reading, this is apt that why I wanted to bring these important quotes that he referred in his book to this particular platform is that even sharEvery Global Foundation has a purpose. And Ram Babu and people like you are doing a wonderful job. So I think the only thing that can make it dream impossible to achieve is fear of failure. I think so. We should never be afraid of failure. And I could see, I was given an opportunity session by Ram Babu much earlier. So I could see a lot of changes now. So it's what? So we should be never afraid of our failures, but keep moving. Second, a quote that you could see in the book: life is no restaurant, but rather buffet. Go and help yourself. So it's not a restaurant. So we need to find opportunities and then move forward. I'm just giving you at the end, this is what he says. This small anecdote or an incident inspired him a lot, he says. And he says that it was most probably it was Confucius who must have told the story. Once a traveler, after having walked for a long hours or long journey, he wanted to take some rest, and therefore he sees an old wise man sitting under a tree and then goes and asks him, "Night is falling, I would like to have a rest. Tell me please if it's possible for me to stop by your village." For which the old man replied, "Where are you from?" "From a faraway land," he says. "And how did the people behave you?" the old man asks, and for which he answered, "They were hospitable and kind." The wise man smiles and says, "You can go to my village, it's good." After some days, another traveler stops by, and the old man again asks him. New traveler after some time comes to the old man and then says the same thing. "I'm tired and hungry, I would like to stop by your village." The old man asks, "From where you are coming from? How did the people welcome you?" "Women and children threw stones at me, and men unleashed their dogs on me." For which the wise man sighs and says, "Keep on going in the right. Avoid my village and the next ones. You won't find anything good." So the simple message that we could draw from this particular inspiration or anecdote is, world is wide. It is how we see the world. It's not the world who sees us. And therefore, a platform of this sort has got a purpose. As I showed you some of the people who excelled in their life and who wanted to fulfill their dreams. So we also have a purpose, and every human being has a purpose. So how effective are we in implementing the dreams that we have got? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Coach SOOSAI Rathinam. You have been wonderful that you have lit the spark of inspiration and impetus among all of us, because thousands miles of journey begins from a single step. That has been absolutely explained. It has been really wonderful to have you here today.